For my brothers, never had an ear to hear 'em. These the bricks for our sisters, help us build it. If I could be a black fly on the wall, I can hear and see it all and have the mind of a god. Black, 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 black. Fly, 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 fly. Black, black, black.
Welcome to another episode of Black Fly on the Wall. It's your boy Lada. I'm your host. I'm here with some amazing people. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Amazing gentlemen. We're in the studio again, of course, talking about some dope conversations. I'm super excited for this conversation. I got my boy Adrian here with me. My boy Kyle. Adrian, introduce yourself.
What's good, y'all? So, of course, y'all boys already know me, but Adrian, a.k.a. Styles with Ace. And if you know me by Ace, you probably know me for a while.
Facts.
But if not, call me Adrian.
I said, let me introduce him as Adrian. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I call him Ace.
Yeah, but on IG, you can call me Adrian. You can call me
sure.
Styles with Ace, whatever. But yeah, husband, father, new father as of January 1st of this year. So enjoying that dad life right now.
Little man was on set, taking all the ladies.
In the studio this morning.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I mean, I just do my thing on the men's side, men's fashion side of IG. So. You ever need some style inspo, boy up.
Nice.
Right.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. My boy Kyle, introduce yourself, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited to be here, man. Kyle Brown, the host of the Kyle Brown podcast. You can find me on IG at Kyle is Next. Excited to be here, man. I think this is an important time, and I'm glad to be on the show. I've seen the work that's been going on, and it's glad to be a part of it. So, excited, man. Let's get to it.
Absolutely. Of course, here with my boy Sam, co-host, Black Fly on the Wall. Sam, introduce yourself.
You already know Sam, co-host Black Fly on the Wall, at Master and the Man, content creator, YouTuber. Get right.
Sam, I am.
Yeah,
Facts. Man, we're here with an amazing conversation, man. When I thought about this, I was like, we very seldomly talk about us as millennials, the importance and the structure and the foundation of marriage. And what really inspired this episode of Eager to Work, Timid to Marry, the millennial relationship structure, is the fact that us as millennials have the ability to go after the careers, go after the master's degrees, go after the PhDs, open the businesses, get the LLCs. I mean, visually, from what I see, I ain't seen the statistics, but we opening up LLCs at a historic pace.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Everybody is becoming a lot more financially aware of what is going on, and they realizing, like, I want to be my own business. I want to start my own business, which I think is amazing. But we all know that whether we read the books of Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon, some of the books that really shifted men of generations' life, before us, we understand that marriage is a foundational piece for wealth in America, right? It's up there with real estate. It's up there with stocks. Having a woman by your side as us as men that can really support us, support our dreams, support our aspirations, provide us with the ability to create a family, create a legacy, create another generation. Like Ace, you just had a son.
Yeah.
So every time you look at your son, you're looking at a piece of you.
Yeah.
You're looking at your next generation, and then your son is going to have children, and then your children's children is going to have children. And so that increases your responsibility and your intention in life, right? So I see that we are eager to work, right? We're eager to get out there. We eager to get the careers. We can go to the HBCUs. We can get the masters. We can get all these things, and that's what we're really, really structured on. But when it comes down to us being really focused on the marriage piece of things, I feel like we've had a conversation like that in the past. It's like that's not always a priority for us to go out here and get. Yeah. I may not need to move too fast on this. I may not mean to do this, do that. So what I wanted to Ace and Kyle, you both are both married men. I'll be married in June.
Congrats to you.
Yeah, of course.
Early congrats.
You know what I'm saying? Less than 60 days in,
Facts.
Y'all heads are spinning right now.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Destination wedding in Cancun, so we ready.
I was like, y'all ain't got too much to worry about.
You ready. You know what I'm saying? We ready.
Don Julio.
Facts.
Good.
But Ace, how important was it for you to say, okay, I found this amazing woman, I want to make her my wife? Like, what in your mind gave you that first thought of, I want to be a married man?
Honestly, I would say it had a lot to do with some of the things that I saw growing up. And for those that don't know me on a much deeper level, I grew up in a household where my mom was really, my mom and my dad were in my life. And but my mom was kind of like the sole provider for us. My dad was in and out of jobs, wasn't really consistent with anything as far as providing for us. I mean, he was there for us, to take me and my younger sister to practices, school events, all that good stuff. But when it came financially and even emotionally to a certain extent, he wasn't necessarily there. And as a kid, you see certain images around you. Of course, as a black man growing up, we don't really see, or for me specifically, I didn't really see too many black men or black households that were what I would call, I guess, complete. They weren't necessarily whole when it comes to having the good steady income, two-parent household where the parents are married, and actually doing everything the quote unquote, I guess, the American dream way.
For sure.
And for me, it was almost like a light bulb in my head. It was like, okay, you see what you don't have, so be the change that you want to see. And I was actually just able to speak to some kids in Pitt County in Greenville. And one of the things that I left them with was be the change that you want to see. So for me, I think it was really just being something that I wasn't able to see growing up and knowing that I wanted to start that generational wealth or that foundation in my household.
I like that. So like what really inspired you was the lack of seeing something, whereas we have a lot of people talk about they see that structure in their home. Their parents are happily married. They see that, and that's what inspires them. But for you, you saw the more so like, okay, I see that there's a void there, and I want to recreate that generational karmic cycle in my life and in my family's life.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And Kyle, man, what really inspired you? What was kind of like that switch, that flip? Because you got married pretty young.
Young.
How old were you?
26.
26.
So I got in early.
You got in there early. Shout out to Tia, man.
Yeah, shout out to Tia. I'm headed on 3 years of marriage.
Nice.
We've been together 10 years, so
Nice.
it's been a transformation and an evolution just throughout that time. So it's been good for me though.
Nice. So like, what triggered in your mind? Talk about like just the structure of what you saw growing up, and if there was a lack there that inspired you, or a two-parent household inspired your overall motivation to be married.
Yeah, so I grew up in a single mother household. I didn't grow up, like I said, I didn't grow up with a father in the home. But the influence around having both parents, I didn't ever feel like I had a lack thereof. But I did have good godfathers. I had good godfathers, and I saw their families, and their families were very similar. They were whole families. They had multiple kids. They were husband, wife, and they had like generations of that. And I had that around me, and I knew that's what I wanted to be able to duplicate. Even though I didn't see it in my home, I didn't feel like I had a lack, but the families around me were whole, and I saw how well they enjoyed holidays, how well they enjoyed going to church.
It's a little
together.
different, man.
It's just completely different. And I used to be a part of some of that too. So like even if I may have been just with my mother, I may go to church some days with that whole family, and I see how that dynamic worked out together. So I've been really big on wanting to duplicate that. And I grew up in the church too. So I think the generation is a little bit different now, where we kind of grew up in a huge church era. So with that, the importance of marriage was seen throughout that experience. So I wanted to get a part of it.
Yeah. And Sam, what about you, man? What was your experience with seeing overall?
I think for me, it was like I didn't have my dad around, and a majority of my family is unmarried. So I've always been the one that wants to do something different. So I've always been the one that I want to go to college, because a lot of people didn't go to college. I want to get married. So I think for me, that motivation is building an example for the next generation to show, okay, you can go to college, but you can still live your passions. You can get married and you can build this legacy. Like I want to be the one that, I feel like I got a lot of people that look up to me in those aspects. So I want to be the one that is the example. Like I'm usually like one of the first in my family to do a lot of things.
Absolutely.
So,
Being that catalyst.
Absolutely. Hey, are you looking for your dream home in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina? Well, look no further. Nora Group is Charlotte's premier real estate brokerage. Their team of experienced agents will work to find you the perfect property in the most sought-after neighborhoods. Whether you are a first-time home buyer or looking to upgrade, Noor Group has a diverse range of options to fit your unique needs and budget. Their slogan, "Find out why we're different," makes them your premier real estate choice. Trust them to guide you through the buying process with professionalism and expertise. Contact Noor Group of Charlotte today at 704-397-3661 and by visiting wearenoor.com and let them help you find your perfect place to call home. Noor Group of Charlotte, North Carolina.
I feel like also like who wanna be alone in the
Yeah.
in the late term. Like
Yeah.
right now it feels fine. Like you might be in your 20s, early 30s,
Yeah.
and you're like, cool, I'm fine where I'm at. But at the end of the day, you might as well get started to what 50 and 60
Well,
they look like.
You know, too, like if we really want to dive into it, like we are what we think about.
Yeah,
So
true.
like all four of us individually are doing amazing things, right? But we are those things because we constantly put that into our mind and put that into our subconscious, and we achieve those things in reality.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with relationships, right? It's like if we don't see ourselves as husbands, we won't be that.
At all.
Because if you don't visualize yourself waking up with your son and having a beautiful wife and a beautiful family, and you all are setting these goals and achieving these milestones, if you don't see that in your mind's eye, you'll never achieve it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you gotta
like I think
visualize it before you can actually
absolutely.
experience
I
it.
think so. I think that's the biggest. That's one variable with our generation is that same energy that you put into achieving that degree, that same energy you get into landing that 6-figure job with bonuses or opening that business and accruing those incomes and those multiple streams of income. You have to have that same motivation to visualize yourself as a wife and visualize yourself as a husband, or you will never achieve it.
And see, I think our generation has shifted that because even you said you got married young at 26.
Yeah.
Like
And that's what
my
you consider
mom,
young.
that's
I got
young. You know what I mean?
married
That's
at
young
22.
today.
You got married at 22.
Yeah, that's young
You got married
today.
at
though.
22. Wow.
I'm not sure the age range, but I'm probably maybe one of the youngest ones on
Yeah,
on
I'm
right now,
32.
and got married young. And it's weird because a lot of people my age aren't getting married.
Nah,
I'm
yeah.
28. I just want that.
Yeah.
out. I'm
Like I
28.
feel like I know our age range. I feel
Yeah,
like
I'm 32.
y'all been some of your age
Some-
range been getting married.
Yeah.
Now,
I haven't been going
Yeah.
to
He
weddings.
said now.
yeah, now at 30, like my mom was married at 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that used to be
But
young.
I'm 29
Yeah.
and I haven't been going to weddings.
Weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because-
weird. I'm about to hit 30.
Nah,
They
30,
usually
So
30
you-
is gonna start ramping up.
So
Right.
let's do an experiment, right? So you say you haven't been going to weddings, which is an indicator of the people in your network, whether they are
That's
getting
what I
married
was
or
about
not.
to get into.
So we got that data point.
Yeah.
But then what would you say the data point is for those people who have been achieving in their lives, whether it's starting businesses,
Yeah.
starting new careers, transitioning, getting additional degrees? Would you say that the people in your network are achieving those things?
I think so. Interesting dynamic. A lot of those people that I feel as though are achieving really, really at a high level are women in my circle. For the ones that are getting married, I do feel as though they are a bit of a heads up on getting more in their stride in their business or what their career or occupation may be compared to the ones that may be single and not specifically pursuing marriage. They may be on that track, but I don't know if they got as much clarity as some of the ones that decided to get married early. Now, there are going to be some case-by-case scenarios where there are individuals who are just going to exceed above and beyond, but I do feel as though the ones that did decide to settle down and just focus in on one person, they're a little bit further in their journey than that. But the ones who are doing well and not married and thinking about it are the women. Like they're doing well and they're they're pursuing it, but they're
it's
still doing well.
It's almost like they chose, right? It's either I'm gonna pursue and strengthen that relationship side, or I'm gonna go just headstrong into business. Because even in like corporate America, right? If you look at the manager level, a lot of them are married. You rarely find a lot of single people that are managers, directors, because that dynamic is how they network.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the wives or at dinner and stuff like that.
It's
So
perceptually pleasing. Too.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's like I've even noticed this as an engaged man.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an occupational therapist, so I may be working with my colleagues or people on my team whether it's physicians or radiologists, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And as soon as I say, like, just in casual conversation that I'm engaged, I'm getting married, man, the energy just goes
It goes up.
Yeah.
It goes up.
because like people love.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing about it. Like people love sells.
Yep.
And so as a man that's continuing to grow in his community, continuing to grow in his business, it only makes you more aesthetically pleasing.
Yep.
It only rounds you out better as far as your interpersonal skills, your ability to get along with other people, and your fact that you are willing to commit. I think that's the biggest part that business owners, colleagues, people in your network are able to see from you as a man is your ability to commit to something.
It's a little bit more comfortable too, because like you think about just even friendships. When you're married, you don't really want your spouse around a bunch of single people.
Right.
It's like they don't got the same type of mindset that you have as a married person. So it's like the same thing with business. Like,
I'm around single people though, so I can't even like. I'm
gonna say-
the only one that's married in my circle. But I enjoyed it.
But watch
What's the experience? I'm interested to hear from
I
both
was saying,
of
'cause
you
I got a
all.
different dynamic than his.
Yeah.
Mine's like literally completely opposite.
So
but
like
I
for
love it.
you, you hang around single people in your circle. A lot of times your women and wives particularly are not favorable of their husbands hanging around like a group of single men.
Yeah.
But if your woman trusts you and you all have a strong relationship, she knows that you can be an individual amongst a group. What is the experience like for you being around single men?
Yeah. I think I've been with my wife so long, and she's been around my friends, she's been around the people that she know I hang around. She's completely cool with any and every space that I'm in. But another thing that I think has been a dynamic that I don't see a lot of relationships have that I know my relationship has is I bring my wife to the event with my guys.
Yeah.
Like
You
they
pull
know,
up.
like when I pull up, they be like, "Where Tia?" If she's not there.
Right.
So I've gotten so comfortable with that over this 10-year relationship where any and every location where if it feels like I can't bring her, that may not be the space for me, but majority of the time I've built an environment where I'm comfortable with having her around my single guy friends. And she knows how they're going to act.
Right.
But she can see
But then y'all can have
how
your
you
own,
act. Yeah.
Right. Y'all can have your own
exactly.
relationship,
But
even amongst that.
And that's what makes it
People like,
better.
here you go. You know what I'm saying?
We can go out. We can go out to the club. We can go hit a lounge. We can anywhere. She knows they're going to pursue women.
Yeah.
And she
Honestly, I don't want to be there and they pursuing women and I'm chilling. It's actually boring at that point.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have her around while
They
they
can
do
do their
them.
thing and you
And
doing
we
your
can
thing with
still
your
have
wife.
fun. Yeah,
But then
so,
y'all can have y'all sidebar conversations like, you know, look
exactly.
Look
Like,
at
he
me,
ain't about to
y'all.
get that number. He ain't about to get that number. He been trying to get that
And
number
it's
all
helped my
night.
guys so much over this time because they have another woman in the circle
Yeah,
that
so they
brings
coming
other
back to her,
girls.
asking her for advice.
Yeah.
Bring
So,
women to her, like, look, what you think
yeah.
about her? Can you fill her out for me?
Yeah, my wife, she's in the mix.
Oh yeah, she cool,
she's
man.
there.
Yeah,
She's
like
there.
his wife and my sister best friends.
Yeah.
Right,
So so absolutely, yeah. T is a good one. What about you, man? How has your experience been?
Yeah. So like I said, I think mine is almost complete opposite from him. We've gone to so many weddings over the past, 3-4 years that it's been just insane. So
Rolling.
yeah, so a little bit of background on me and my wife. We've been together for like 10 years. Been married for 5, coming up on 6. Like I said, I'm 28. I just turned 28 in June. My wife turns 29 next month. And I mean, just like, I feel like once we got engaged or married and it's just like everything just started coming on there. Like our circle just started changing as we were going through life. Like once we got married, I felt like we started going to a church in Durham and started getting around other couples who were in serious relationships at the time. And now I think literally it's rare that we're around folks or our friends that aren't married now. And it's just because I guess, I don't know, it's just like certain likeness brings
You are who you hang
together.
around.
Yeah, you are who you hang around.
Yeah.
And we hang around a lot of married folks now, and it's just like, I mean, it's crazy the way life just pans out, man. And then we're
It's like you said.
yeah, and then tying into the business side, now that we're in Greenville, North Carolina, or Winterville, North Carolina, it's just like our circle has changed even more, but it's still married folks, but we're also at a point in our lives to where we said, okay, this year is where we're going to focus on our investments. We're going to potentially get into real estate or different business ventures. And as we start speaking these things, like you just said earlier, having that vision to make sure that you can implement some of these things, we started seeing ourselves going to a new church, being planted into a certain community, And in this community, we found out there's other married couples who are business owners, who are in real estate, who do literally, I don't know, just everything that we could have possibly thought of as far as business ideas, and they're married at the same time. So I feel like as we're maturing and getting into this different phase of our life, we're starting to see our circle change for the better. Yeah. So I think it's really dope.
What's good, foodies and podcast enthusiasts? We've teamed up with Mike's Vegan Grill to bring you the ultimate dining experience. Are you craving delicious vegan cuisine that's good for both your taste buds and the planet? Look no further than Mike's Vegan Grill, nestled in the heart of Greensboro, North Carolina. Picture this, mouth-watering plant-based dishes prepared with love and infused with flavors that will tantalize your senses. From their signature vegan burgers to delectable vegan desserts, Mike's Vegan Grill is redefining plant-based dining in Greensboro, North Carolina. So whether you're a vegan veteran or simply curious of trying something new, head over to Mike's Vegan Grill in Greensboro, North Carolina to be a part of the taste revolution. Mike's Vegan Grill and Black Fly on the Wall podcast, where good food and captivating stories collide.
Universe works in your favor, man.
And that's good. I swear I feel like the opposite. I do.
I said it's crazy.
I'm around a lot of single people.
Well, this shows me, and it shows like the listeners too, that like you can be married and experience different realities. So like marriage is not like what TV makes it to be.
Yeah,
it's really what your reality provides you in your experience, but it's also what you make it as well. Because but also it shows. I think I like the dynamic of what you all got going on, because it shows that you can be married and have two different types of life and networks and circles.
And still be successful though.
So like for the people who make excuses like I can't be married because my boys are my boys are single, we're showing like an example of that.
You can do that, or
right?
Be,
like and individuals who come from a single family home, you can be married. I'm coming from a single family home, and I get married in June. So it's like all those things can almost be looked at reasons for why you're not progressing in the life of marriage, but also sometimes can be used as excuses to why you're not pursuing something that's vitally important to you.
Yeah. And sometimes like you could be the catalyst for your friends group too. Like somebody get married and now everybody getting married.
That's real.
Yeah.
Showing an example.
I think some people, like my friends, I do think they admire what I got going on.
They like, you know what I'm saying?
They admire what I got going on.
They like, dang, you ain't got to go out here and pursue. You got it at the house.
Yeah, that could work one or two ways though, because they could admire and now they comparing, which won't allow them to get it.
Yeah.
So they're like searching for trying to get what you have, but it's like you got to get what's for you.
But I tell people, you're not gonna duplicate what I got.
Exactly.
I'm telling you.
Exactly.
I've been with my wife for 10 years. Married 2 or 3, but I've got more skin in the game in the other 7. So you're not going to duplicate that. I didn't even go through the dating phase. So I don't even know what dating is, having to take joints out, do this, do that.
Yeah, because y'all been in college.
I've been with her since I was 18. I'm 29 now, so we're going on 11 years. So that's like, I didn't go through that, so you're not going to experience what I have. So you need to figure out your own pathway and what's your environment. You want to be able to bring that in.
So that brings me to my next question of, sometimes not having an example of what a healthy relationship is better than having an example of what a toxic one is. So like I kind of use that as my example. Is like me and my father have an amazing relationship now, but I saw only maybe like 10 or 20% of him and my mother's relationship being married because I was so young. And I almost sometimes look at that as almost like a blessing, because I didn't have to go through like a lot of the traumas like some young kids go through of seeing like a lot of domestic violence and a lot of things related to that really trigger you to really, really kind of clam up and put yourself in a shell and not expand and really look for or seek marriage.
It was good that you were ignorant.
It was good. It's good that you almost get to use the power of being naive to the fact to where. So the lack of the relationship of a toxic relationship is almost a superpower that you have, because you're now able to create whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So you now can take on examples of people in your network like a Kyle or Adrian and really say, you know what? I didn't see a healthy relationship growing up, but my boy has one, and I want to model after that.
Yeah.
Or versus taking on all that baggage as a kid and not really being able to unpack that as a man and really be able to move forward in the area and the space that you need to move forward.
That's where we lack, I think, in this generation now, because it's like your friends get to see the good and bad, right? And they get to see you committing and keep going. When people are looking for like relationships through Instagram, you only get to see one side. So the moment that people are like experiencing something bad, even in the workforce, like they're like, I'm done. Like I don't need to commit to this.
They don't have to stick to it.
Yeah. So even with
they
work,
don't stick to it.
You're happy at work until you're not, and then these people are leaving jobs. It's the same thing that they're doing in relationships.
Too many options.
Yeah, it's too many options. It's too much comparison. All that.
Well, too, like it's just like you don't see the beauty of something until you continue to go. You continue to pursue the journey.
Yeah.
Like you and Omega, you and Alpha, we Noops. So we understand like the attitude of stick-to-itiveness and the ability to keep going and going after your dreams in pursuit of something that you truly want.
Yeah.
It's like, what if men use the same mentality and transmute that to setting intention with the relationships that they have for marriage? That makes you more powerful and more dynamic as a man because you limit distractions.
Mm-hmm.
You have something that's now motivating you to elevate in life.
Yeah.
And you're able to maintain your peace.
Yeah.
Like I remember as a single dude, like I ain't had that much peace. Like managing multiple women,
I was gonna
dating multiple women.
I can't even imagine.
Bro, it's
doing
not
that.
peaceful, man.
It's
It's
not
not
fun.
peaceful.
Yeah.
It's not
Spending so much money a week
spending
on dates.
money. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's-
Now my girl is cool. My fiance is cool to sit in the house on a Friday.
Create a process. Create
Have a little
system.
drink at the house.
Yeah.
Like you don't always got to be out on the scene Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
You're able to have peace, and so like even with being committed, let's talk about like being committed and having one woman. That allows you to really focus on your goals.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like nothing is more important. Like this may sound harsh, and I told my fiance this about 2 months ago. We had like a little small disagreement, and we was kind of working it through, having a conversation, talking it through like normal. And I told her, I said, nothing ever would be more important to me than my purpose.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because I can't pour from an empty cup. So I can't give to you. I can't give to our future family. I can't give to my business. I can't give to my mom. I can't be a good son, a good brother, any of that if my
I'm
purpose
not
is
full.
missing.
Yeah.
Because I have to have, that is the oil to my engine. So like men cannot continue to go and have something that intrinsically motivates them if they don't have purpose.
Yeah.
And it was hard for her to kind of understand that. But I think the more she sees through my actions, how dedicated I am to something,
Yeah.
it aligns with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like, I think men establishing what their purpose is and making that the forefront, it's not saying that your wife or your child is lesser than that.
No.
It's just saying that has to be fulfilled first, because you see a lot of men out here who struggle to be amazing husbands and really function at their gold standard, because when you really dive into it and you really, really talk to them, they don't have purpose.
Yeah. So, and from that perspective, I do believe that you have to like lead with purpose and have that as your like North Star. At what point does your purpose balance with your relationship though? Because I can imagine your purpose is whatever your passion is, whatever the things that drive you on a day-to-day basis, but your relationship is going to continue to grow and get stronger too, where that person can almost seem more important than the purpose.
Do you think we should separate the purpose from our relationship?
I think they need to be.
I think they need to be embedded.
They need to be aligned.
They need to
They
be
need to be
embedded.
aligned. My wife needs to know that these are the things that drives me. These are the things that I wake up for every day.
And this is what makes me a better
And
husband.
if you help me
Yes.
get to this goal,
Yes.
then we all gonna feel a lot better.
Yes.
You know, there's
Like
gonna be
who did y'all see when y'all first came up on set? Like you saw my fiance. Like
Yeah.
I've explained to her like it's essential, it's critical for you to be like involved. Like I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like the support is there. Like and it helps me see things from a different lens that I'm not always able to see myself.
Yeah.
like the reason why like the show has been able to elevate is because like we
surround
surrounded by
backbone. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm
I
saying.
was my editor for
Like,
my podcast.
you look at,
so.
bro, like you look at example. See, that's what I'm saying.
I would be trash.
Like you see, and I know your wife has to be involved in your editing of your
100%.
of your content.
Yeah.
Like she probably
The
tells you probably
voiceovers,
want to post
everything.
something. She probably want to post something, and she like, nah.
Yeah, I
let's
mean,
look
every
at it.
time I'm shooting something, taking pictures, like now we've got to the point where our communication has been so good and just like so on point that she almost knows what I'm going to ask her before I even ask her.
Mm-hmm.
And we were having a conversation yesterday before I text you last night. I was like, hey, can my wife come? Because we were just sitting there thinking about it. And she was like, I'm just going to come just so we can.
Nah, she can. We always want family, man.
Yeah, so she was cool with it, and then I mean, just riding along, and even same thing with photo shoots. She comes with me, and it's just like, look, I want you here because I want your perspective here.
Yeah.
But I also want to make sure that you know how much this means to me and how much that effort that I'm putting into this.
I feel like men need to look their woman in their eye and tell them like, you are important to my process, to my work.
Absolutely.
Like it shouldn't be assumed that just because she has a role in your life and a title in your life as a fiance, girlfriend, or wife, that you should assume that she automatically wants to be involved in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's critical for like, if you have a good woman, you look her in the eye and you tell her like, look, like it's important for you to be involved. Like you have a good eye.
Yeah.
Like you provide amazing feedback.
Yeah.
Like you help me get better.
Yeah.
Like those are all affirmations that they need to know, because then, like we talked about with purpose, you now embed them into your purpose.
I think what you said was really important too. It's like you got to communicate it, like, and that's really what it comes down to. Because most of the time, you don't need her on an episode, or you might not need her to talk on the pod. You might not need her to take a picture, but it's like just somebody to listen.
Yeah.
And for men on their purpose, I think that listening aspect, just saying, okay, I'm gonna bounce this idea off you. Just give me what you think. Whether I take it or not, I got somebody who loves me and trusts me, and is supporting what I'm thinking about. So I know that your opinion, whether I take it or not, is going to be in support of my success.
Yeah.
Like, and that's all we really need sometimes. We don't really need a hand all the time.
Yeah, I also feel like it's a dynamic change over the last like 15 to 20 years. When we think about like relationships, the husband is typically the provider. The wife is the person that kind of preserves and protects the family. And they've done that. I think it's completely different now. Me and my wife, when we came out of college, we were pursuing the same jobs, the same promotions.
So now we're talking about roles. Okay, here we go.
We're talking about roles completely. So if anything, my wife has always felt like my equal. Yeah. Like it was never like, I think in the past we've always kind of perceived women as like, they needed us for economic like support.
Man, they out here getting it.
No, they're getting it.
Yeah.
So
sometimes more than us.
having her embedded in your purpose is a plus. You got someone else that is
elevate you,
is moving at the same level, at the same caliber as you are. So you want to make sure that they're a part of that. Yeah. Like if you keep this person only in a preserve the family role, you're not gonna reach your max potential if you had that.
And she can
person.
get you in spaces that you can't get in.
Absolutely.
But check, bro, this is just a clear example. Any Eagles fans?
Eagles fan. Yes, sir.
Not at all.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Ramsey, the highest paid. Your frat brother.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, not Ramsey. He's cornerback. Where he at now? Miami?
I think he's signed. I think he's trying to come to
He
Eagles.
got traded.
I think he's trying to come.
Here you go. Jalen Hurts,
and Derrick
your
Henry.
frat brother, highest paid player in NFL history. Whole team is women.
Yeah.
Agent,
black woman,
down to marketing.
Black women too. Yeah.
So
was it Rock Nation? Rock Nation Management?
I'm not sure.
Clutch.
He has
Clutch Sports.
His agent is black, but then he has women from all variations, all backgrounds on his team.
Every area,
But I'm gonna tell you something. Like even with Black Fly, like we ain't hyping Scale up today because
she get it.
She knows. We talked about Scale, but having a woman on your team is essential for like just the elevation of anything.
Facts.
Absolutely.
And then you add a black woman on your team, that adds more structure, more strength.
Yeah.
Like it just brings in a whole nother energy.
Yeah.
And like that's what I really push for my fellas is like surround yourself with some women. Yeah. Like even if you are a man and you are in a space where you healing, you going to therapy, you are working on yourself, you really focusing on yourself so you can be a good husband one day. Continue to surround yourself with women that can assist you in elevating in that space. I think a lot of times too, like the traditional husband that we were taught from our grandfathers is that you had to be physically strong, you had to have like a real stubborn attitude, a real stoic, a grittiness, a stoic, stern personality. But now in 2023, we're moving into a different phase and a different age of time. Like it's essential for us to have like a lot of masculine energy, but also feminine energy too, because that provides us and allows us to open up in our levels of creativity.
Artists, producers, actors, entertainers. My name is Andrew Covington, and I'm an entertainment lawyer. People always ask me, why do I need an entertainment lawyer? As an entertainment lawyer, I can help you navigate contracts, negotiate deals, protect your intellectual property, and ensure that you get paid what you deserve. Having me as an entertainment lawyer on your team, you can focus on your craft and leave the legal matters to us. Don't let legal issues hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Hire an entertainment lawyer today.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, I'll speak to that. So over the past year, I mean, just to be honest, me and my wife, we've been on like a roller coaster ride for the past year, and it came down to just me not being able to communicate as well as I needed to a few years back, and some stuff happened on my end, and to the point where I almost lost my wife this past year. And for me, I had to do a lot of deep diving just into myself, and I ended up going to counseling and meeting with a woman who was able to help me break down some of those things like that I saw growing up. You know, seeing my parents fight on a daily basis. I'm a type of guy, I don't like conflict. If you know me, I'll probably just walk off. If you're yelling at me, I don't got time for it. Like, if we're not talking about money or something like that, or something that's going to help me, I would just easily just walk off because I'm not confrontational. But for me, again, that communication is something that is just essential to the soul, some might say.
Yeah, for sure.
Put your frat in there.
You know Drew Church and Johnny Jones from Johnny crossed it. He pledged at Central, and then Drew pledged somewhere else.
I probably know about.
But they was on the show last. And we was talking, and they recommended some people to me. Of course, all of them accused. But, you know, we rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the bro. Shout out to the bro.
You know what I'm saying?
All the recommendations.
I was like, collaboration is essential to the soul. And then, you know, they started bugging. They're like, chill out. But nah, man.
They gonna go crazy.
Oh, they go crazy. Yeah. They're like, hey. Yeah. But nah, man. Like, I appreciate that vulnerability though, because like it's important for people to see like the combination of like sometimes relationships being like this.
And like Sam said, I mean, just on IG, you might not see everything that's going on within somebody's relationship. And for us, over the past year, I'd say we've been trying to be a little more vulnerable on that stand front, just to let people know that.
Talk about it, man.
We're
like,
not perfect.
Like
I've made mistakes, she's made mistakes, but we're working through it.
Actually, the most powerful thing too is like, I think now we're in an age where perfection isn't even an example anymore, because like we know like
so much more.
There's so much more to this. Yeah. Versus like the vulnerability is not a new wave. Like actually seeing the people that you admire go through things and keep going is more admirable in my opinion.
Changes your,
I think commitment is becoming more attractive again. It had lost its little flair, but I think it's coming again because even in the business world, you don't see people that have been in business in the same job for 20, 30 years anymore.
You think commitment is?
I think it's becoming like because in commitment you can see everything. Now, if I go into something and I run at the first sign of danger every time, you don't get to see me commit and overcome. There's you overcome things during commitment, whether that's friendships, relationships, and your business life. Like you can have a problem with your manager, but if you run from that job, you can run into another problem with another manager. You know what I mean? Have the same thing over and over.
But so I feel as though I think commitment is not prioritized now, in my opinion. Like I was telling you, maybe I'm around the wrong people. But like I was telling you, like I don't see a number of people my age running to marriage from that level of commitment. Yeah, I don't see that happening. I see them going into things that's going to please them.
They're eager to work.
They're eager to work. They're eager to work, and they're not prioritizing, marriage and that long-term commitment. I think it is just a dynamic shift of the options that we have.
Yeah.
Like I think I said it earlier, like you can change a job
Anytime.
any
Yeah.
2 to 3
Some
months.
people working 2-3 jobs right now, corporate level.
But what
I don't understand how they do that, but that's another
they
story.
play. But that also transitions into like relationships. You got options with women.
Yeah.
You have options with the number
At
of
the
men.
click of a button.
You
And I was
used
gonna
to
say
be.
that's what social
You
media
used to
goes
have to be
into.
within like a 30-mile radius, and
Yeah.
that's the options you had. Now I can get on this timeline and I can meet someone that's an hour away, and we can link up or we can do whatever. So I think commitment has lost its value a little bit just because people have so many options. Like,
Well, what I meant by that is that it's coming. Like I agree, but I think it's coming back around because people have realized that you can't pursue perfection.
You're
Like,
only going
we're
to get to
starting
a
to
certain
see,
level by yourself.
Yeah,
Like as above, so below. So the same way we apply the strategies of teaming up with like-minded men to pursue a business goal, you have to team up with a like-minded woman to pursue a life goal to achieve in life.
And what Jay-Z said, what's better than one billionaire?
Two.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just more. More is better. And if
Facts.
you can find a woman that provides you with that stability, you know, like for me, my experience is that I just been able to have a lot more stability, a lot more peace of mind, a lot more comfort and leisure to go about these things, and also too, like just be checked in areas that I need to be checked in.
100%.
Like I think like us as men, like we don't get checked enough.
Yeah.
Like as you progress and as you the cycle of being a man is like the last person that checked you was your mama, and she's not really going to check you as much as an adult as you were whenever you were a young man.
Right.
And so that area that's actually like area of growth and opportunity for a woman to be in your life because she's going to provide you with that balance.
Yes.
Like whenever you looking at doing something, she can be like, hold on, like you need to take care of something over here before you do that. And you like, it hurt a little bit, it sting a little bit, but you like,
It's gonna
right.
sting.
that's true.
Yeah,
it's
you're
gonna
right.
sting.
Yeah,
You're
right.
right. You know, you need that person, you need that woman around you in your life that's going to give you that.
that you
Yeah.
trust.
And
too.
that you trust. Looking for the freshest kicks in town? Look no further than Kick Unlimited, keeping it collective. Kick is located in Apex, North Carolina, sneakerhead's paradise. They offer rare and unique sneakers that are perfect for everyday wear or for adding to your collection. And they don't just stop at shoes. The selection of vintage clothing is just as impressive. At Kick Unlimited, they believe that everyone deserves to look and feel their best, and that starts with the right pair of sneakers. So go check them out and see why they are one of the dopest sneaker stores in North Carolina. Stop by 103 North Salem Street, Suite B, Apex, North Carolina, 27502, and give them a call at 919-355-2441. Kick Unlimited. I would say this. I got a couple more questions before we finish up. Give me one characteristic that you feel like that the perfect or the most admirable wife can bring to the table in a marriage from what you've learned thus far since you've been married. What is one characteristic, let's say for instance, that if you had to teach your little sister or a female friend that you would say like, hey, based on me being married, this is a characteristic that my wife has that I think is like her top characteristic?
I would say either, I guess I'll just say emotional intelligence or understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to be in a space to where you can have certain conversations with her and you're not being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think as men, one reason for me specifically I can speak to, I used to kind of be in my shell because I didn't want to see how she was going to react. I felt like it wasn't going to be heard or be accepted the way I wanted it to be. And again, over the past year, I've been forced to come out of that shell, and it's shown me how understanding and just how emotionally intelligent my wife is towards me. And it's an
example
opened me
for
up.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's opened me up, and it's helped us in, I don't know how many different ways, man. It's just like, I've probably cried the past year
That's good.
more
Yeah.
than
That's
I've
healing.
cried in my life, man. It's just like,
healing.
it's
But you can move a
it's
lot
so
more freer now
therapeutic.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had, man, I've had mentors tell me that they wish they would have cried younger.
Yeah.
Like because like whenever you develop that that hard shell like you just mentioned of not letting your emotions out, not being free flowing and having that rhythm to really just heal. Like that crying is healing, man.
Yeah.
And that really is a release too. Like you realize like, all right, I can be, and also too, I feel like with men, whenever you have a moment around your woman like that, you're really able to see like her truest potential.
Yeah.
Because how she reacts in that moment is like
it tells a lot.
It tells a lot.
Yeah.
And so what about you, Kyle? What would you say the main characteristic you would say that you learned from your wife that you would give advice to? The main characteristic, what would you name? What would you coin it?
It's a number of them. The one that I immediately think of, which is very similar to his, like the EQ, the emotional intelligence. But what I would say for my wife over like this 10, 11-year relationship is poise. She has poise that I haven't had throughout this 10 to 11-year relationship, through the ups, through the downs.
Yeah.
I think she's been able to manage situations, manage her emotions in a more mature way than probably anyone in my life.
Yeah.
So I think that poise that she's been able to just consistently show.
And they
day
say
in and
women
day out.
mature quicker than men.
They do.
I
They do.
100%
Absolutely,
believe
I
it.
agree.
I thought I was
Absolutely.
one of the more mature
Absolutely.
guys. Like I said, I'm one of the more married guys in my circle, but my wife is one of the most mature people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period.
Being,
And that maturity, rubs off on me.
I was going to say, it rubs off on you.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So I would say mature, that poise, which is directly related to her emotional intelligence. She knew how to handle those situations that we ran into and to get us to where we are now.
Sam, what would you say?
Fully agree.
What are you learning with your woman?
I think for me, like one of the things that kind of stick out is the ability to nurture like situations, right? And that allows me to be open. That allows things to grow and manifest. Because I'm pretty, like you guys are looking for emotional intelligence. I'm pretty emotional. I'm pretty emotionally intelligent. I can listen without responding. I can take something back, analyze it, because I overthink everything. So I know myself that I can't really respond in a moment. I need to go reflect on it and then come back. Yeah. So I think the ability to nurture just not the relationship, but like also situations that we come into, conversations that we have is something that stands out for me, because now I can put something out there and watch it grow. And I know somebody is going to align with that because they trust me and they believe in what I'm saying. And I'm showing the actions of what I'm saying. And like you said, you take your wife to the photo shoot so she can see how serious it is to you and put the work into it. Yeah. So now I know I got somebody on the back end that's nurturing the things that I'm planning.
Yeah.
And I can trust that. And that's something that stands out to me.
I like that. I would say what I've learned, man, is I think my favorite characteristic from what I've experienced with my fiance is the ability to let it go. So
still working on that one.
That
work in progress.
Like we have a disagreement or we have like a misunderstanding. Like the ability to let it go has been like, that's something I've enjoyed because I haven't always experienced that in all the relationships that I've had. And I think that is essential because like life is going to continue to throw like problems and you need a solution. Problem, you need a solution. Problem, you need a solution. And that's what project management is all about. I feel like, if you had to really put a profession on a relationship or a marriage, you would say that it's all about project management. Yeah. It's all about managing finances, managing trips, managing schedules, managing dating time, managing budget, managing emotions. All right, we want to do this. My boy's getting married. We got this going on with the business, but my boy's getting married and he's getting married in Italy next year. How can we manage all these things at one time to make sure that we still get what we need as a couple? So it's like project management. And I think the ability for her to be able to, we talk about it, let it go so that we can prepare ourselves for the next thing that will need a solution is something that I've enjoyed the best.
Yeah. I think that's a real good point there. Just letting go, because in marriages, as you already know, there are going to be certain times where you're going to have huge disagreements. And if I can give any married advice to someone who's about to be married, I would say, literally what you just said, let it go. Every argument doesn't need to be had. Sometimes it's okay to just let it play out. Yeah. If you know you're right, just let it play out. And once your wife realizes you were right, she'll come back to you. And then same way around. If you know, if she knows you're wrong, when it plays out, she'll come back to you. And y'all will come back together, but you're coming back to the same space. You're coming back together as one and unified. So again, just like you said, just letting it go and just letting some of those arguments just fall by the wayside.
But
I'm trash at letting it go. I'm
So,
trash.
but Kyle, what was it like? I'll let you close it out. What would you say one piece of advice that you would give to anybody out there that's listening that has marriage on their forefront?
I think marriage is a place of empathy. Like, you got to put yourself in someone else's shoes, and you got to know that it's permanent.
100%.
Like, even if it don't fit, your shoes don't fit their shoes. Y'all have a unison. Y'all have a shoe that y'all have to collectively wear together. And I'm a big person. Like, I'm so glad you mentioned emotional intelligence.
I was gonna say that's that.
You
EQ,
gotta have EQ to understand that person that's near you. You gotta have that empathy and emotional intelligence to be able to build with the person. Now, if you are shut off from understanding someone's emotions and how you can interact with them and how you can continue to build with that,
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. I promise you that. So I would say empathy, emotional intelligence and empathy, being able to tap into feelings that maybe they have that you aren't experiencing, and be able to move forward with knowing what to do from that situation. So empathy.
Letting go of that control aspect. I think men, we always try to control everything.
Yeah.
And having somebody that you can delegate stuff and know that they got your same mindset, letting go of that control helps too.
Absolutely, man. I love it, man. Amazing conversation, fellas. Eager to work, timid to marry, the millennial relationship structure. This episode is all about marriage, commitment, collaboration, setting that cornerstone, being able to place us in a position to exceed and get to that next level. And I think this conversation even opened my mind up to be able to learn things that I can deploy in my relationship and into my upcoming marriage. I appreciate you all definitely providing that vulnerability.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah,
for
man.
Just even having both of us on.
Absolutely, man. You know, I think Black Fly is all about providing men and women with that safe space to communicate relationships, mental health, spirituality, finances. And I appreciate the vulnerability of just opening up, talking about you all's marriages and what you all learned and things that you would apply in the future to anybody else. So much love. Eager to work, timid to marry.
Absolutely.
Out.
For my brothers, never had an ear to hear 'em. These the bricks for our sisters, help us build them. If I could be a black fly on the wall, I can hear and see it all and have the mind of a god. Black, 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 black. Fly, 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 fly. Black, black, black.